exercise their minds. I want them to find something that they think will bring them joy. I express my opinions in my everyday life, in my work, and who I am. There's definitely things that are just like totally just free form thought, and then things that are like ultra personal. It's a way to express some emotion but not be held accountable, which is kind of nice, and I think that's part of the joy of like poetry and songwriting and putting words together in a particular way is like you can tell your story and express your emotion without being so direct that you're vulnerable. I think once you get too specific about your own resonance, in a sense, then it takes away the opportunity for others to resonate with it on their own accord. You know, like it's almost like pointing out the elephant in the room. These I can move from my shoulder. Like I could paint from my shoulder, you know, like the difference between being crunched and arm extended, like stretched out. The ability to like make big, wide, swooping movements. And movements don't have to be point A, point B, point C. Like I can circumvent the points and there's no structure. And part of that comes from just being overwhelmed by the order of the other work. Like sometimes I want disorder, like freedom and less restriction. And that's only in just movement in the work. And it's about how I'm gesturally moving while painting. I feel like my muscle memory gets too stiff after like chunks of work. Like I'm stuck in a frame. And, like I'll find myself making the same movements. There's like a dissatisfaction that comes from being too repetitive. But the funny thing is that I'll give myself breaks in between certain chunks of work, and then when I move on to something else, I find myself yearning for the thing that was giving me some sort of frustration or dissatisfaction or being bored by the repetition. So like the black and white pieces will come after a bunch of really bright color, or the bright color will come after a series of black and white portraits, or the really loose work will come directly after a couple of like tight portraits. To have a repetitive style, even a repetitive imagery, is sometimes beneficial career-wise for some people. But for me, I work so much, I have to keep it fresh for me. But I talk to young artists and I say like, okay, if you have a scale and like on one side is the joy of making your work. If the joy of creating the work weighs more than the suffering that you have, then you'll make work for the rest of your life. I've been making stuff my whole life, and I didn't really understand an art career until like 19. I didn't really know, like I thought I was gonna be like a comic illustrator or like do something. Like I had no idea how people actually made money doing it. And I've struggled, like it's this game it's ebbs and flows. It's like sometimes you're at the fucking peak and it's great and checks are coming in and people love you, and then sometimes it's fucking crickets. And if you've gone through the valley and up the peak enough times, you know another valley and another peak are coming. It's like it's nonstop. So if you're comfortable in that ride, or learn how to deal with it along the way, you're gonna be fine. Just work. Every day I work. And it hurts not to